After the most amazing in-house class on tortilla lac Saint-Jean from the last episode, we headed back to Montreal for a look at all things maple syrup. Goose and I even convinced a couple of curious teenagers to take turns on the back seat for a butt-numbing 5.5-hour ride back, only to be greeted by Montreal traffic.
Wowza. 4 lanes.
4 lanes of traffic. We're going 18 kilometers an hour.
Not sure they'll do that again. Hi, I'm Kix. I love food, travel, and motorbikes. This year, I wanted to see my own backyard, Canada. So I decided to ride the second largest country in the world, coast to coast, on a 250cc dirt bike. It was an incredible opportunity to see the real Canada from inside the kitchens of real Canadians. These are the people and foods that make up this incredible country. Welcome to the Cooked in Canada motorcycle adventure. Before coming to Quebec, I was aware of the cultural love of maple syrup. But it wasn't until I saw with my own eyes that I truly began to see the scope of all of this maple madness. I saw stacks of maple syrup, mini maple syrup, maple cheesecake. This girl is just drinking maple syrup by the glassful. Gatorade bottles of maple syrup on pasta. Even this cat loves maple syrup. Maple butter on crepes, maple butter on almonds, candied maple almonds, maple beer, maple booze, maple cocktails. This guy even added maple syrup to this martini. And of course, the holy grail of Quebec combinations, the maple poutine. Before diving into all things sticky and sweet, we're eased into the maple madness with the morning class on some cultural crepes before heading out on a VIP tour of the city, to take in a few sights like Montreal, the inner city, and some hidden gems like this downtown rooftop pool, before tracking down one of the city's signature delights, the Montreal bagel. If you know anything about bagels, you know there are two main styles of significant importance: the New York bagel and the Montreal bagel. What sets a Montreal bagel apart is how they are made. First, Montreal bagels are rolled by hand, giving them that light, imperfect look. Then, they're typically boiled in honey water, or you could go full Quebec and spike that water with maple syrup if you wanted. From there, they're topped, in this case with sesame seeds, before being fire roasted on these long wooden planks and landing freshly on the other side. This whole process makes them distinctly more dense, chewy, and sweeter than our friends in the Big Apple. Wanting to know more, Jay that I was staying with tracked down a local Montreal maple and food historian, Fred. Fred's basically a walking, talking book of cultural Quebec cuisine knowledge. This guy's incredible. He loves the history of food so much, he even opened a restaurant in Montreal, the Red Dragon Inn. Or in French,
l'auberge du Dragon Rouge,
where you eat with your hands like it's medieval times. I caught him after his second energy drink of the morning, so all I really need to do was sit back and listen.
It's been in a restaurant, Canada's Weirdest Restaurants or something like that.
Yeah.
They did a show at this place. And then combining history with food was a passion at first, but to really put it there, to really make it happen, then after we opened up a restaurant called the Cabaret du Roi. And that was in the Marché 𝗔𝗯ance, an historical building in Montreal.
Yeah.
So we opened up there a restaurant that was bringing back people to Quebec in the first times of the colony. So exactly 300 years behind. So in the food as well, we wanted to explain to people what, inspired food from that time.
Yeah.
And we even have a big table with 12 seatings, and people would open up a drawer and have their own tools, and the chef would cook right beside that on the fire directly. Did some people talk to you about the maple syrup?
Well, everyone talks about maple syrup, but it seems like such a broad topic. I don't even know where to begin, other than I know that they tap the trees and reduce the syrup. But other than the fact that Quebec produces 70% of the world's supply, or whatever the stat is, nope.
It's my favorite.
Yeah.
It's if you like a candy for me is a teaspoon of maple syrup.
Teaspoon of maple syrup.
Yeah. I don't sugar much.
Yeah.
But I maple syrup more.
Yeah.
And I think it's my most important. I think it's the most important thing of our food here. And it's cultural as well, because it's the perfect combination of the native and the French people together.
Yeah.
Because the native discovered maple syrup by sort of accident when they saw a red squirrel, drinking out of a broken branch.
Oh, really?
So they got inspired by that. Did a V chip with their axe, with a rock, because they didn't have the metal yet.
Yeah.
So they started collecting water like that, and the water is only 4% sugar. The
really
direct water is only 4% sugar. So you have to cook it or boil it to reduce.
Yeah.
But the native didn't have any metal, so they didn't have pots to really boil it. So they would. The ones from the Eastern Ontario used to use the overnight frost.
Oh, yeah.
So they left it in a bucket, and then when it frosted, the water separates a bit from the sugar.
Yeah.
So each day they would take up the
water off the top.
The frozen water. So that's a way to reduce, but it's a longer way.
Yeah, right.
The other one we're putting rocks, boiled rocks, very hard rocks. Hot rocks, and it would boil a bit more and reduce, but they never got to the syrup like we know it today.
Yeah.
They never did the sugar shack like we know it today.
Yeah.
They used to go just to boil and drink and boil.
In the springtime, like in
the springtime, when it's time to collect.
Yeah.
So they would just go and it was a very rustic house, very small, and they didn't save it in syrup. They only saved it in sugar bars.
Also, it was even more reduced.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
And it's easier to conserve because we didn't have the glassware to.
So it'd be like of maple syrup kind of.
Yeah.
Like thicker, but this kind of.
Oh no, like a pound of butter.
Oh wow.
Just like the same thing.
Wow.
And there's a big collectible here in Quebec. We call it it's sugar molds.
Yeah.
And they have some shapes of birds and flowers, very very simple.
Yeah.
But these are very old, and people used to make some blocks with sugar so they could stock it easier.
Wow.
Because the maple syrup can just appeared in it was commercialized in the 1940s, right after the war.
Yeah.
It was invented before, but it wasn't really commercialized on the shelves as much. And it's because of the English people that we go to the sugar shack. It's not because of French people.
Oh.
It's funny because we all associated with French people all the time. But it was the rich people, English people would go to their shack in the old days spirits. And they started to put some meals and feasting around a big table because French Canadian would just go and boil.
Yeah, right.
So they started the tradition in about 1860s, 1870s maybe. And then it became more and more popular with time. And then it became a French Canadian thing. But where you feast at the sugar shack is an English tradition. So that's why I'm a fan of maple syrup.
Yeah, right.
There are no breaks in all of this maple madness. And while Fred is in the backyard schooling me on the incredible edible history of Quebec cuisines, inside, 𝗔𝗫𝗁, Jay's wife, has been laying the groundwork for a class on maple cheesecake. I change into some cooking attire, aka one of my 3 changes of clothes, while 𝗔𝗫𝗁 takes me on a crash course on maple pecan cheesecake for tonight's dinner. Pecans are caramelized, cheesecake is injected with maple butter, then the whole works is baked and topped with one of Jay's edible pansies from the garden, before it gets a sprinkle of icing sugar. It's here, 𝗔𝗫𝗁 finally sits me down and explains a word I should know if I plan to continue this overconsumption in Quebec. The word? Gourmandise. Translation? Pure gluttony. Gourmandise and I got to know each other quite well during my time here. Then finally, the Quebec caloric and cardiac-inducing cuisine that will have your glucose monitor screaming off the charts. The maple poutine. Jay, who you may have seen jumping in and out of clips in the last 2 episodes, works as a journalist for CBC in Montreal. He knows how to track down a good food story better than anyone in the city, and he's brought me, out of season, to one of the best sugar shacks near Montreal for a look at where the maple parties take place during sugar shack season. On site, we meet owner Melanie, who comes from a long line of tree tappers. Both her father and grandfather were in the business, and she says something during our initial introduction that I have now heard a number of times in this province. We have maple syrup flowing through our veins. And with that bit of historical reassurance, She takes us on a tour of the grounds to explain what happens here during Sugar Shack season.
You have the golden, but in French it's doré. This is the first one that we do.
Okay.
Because it's, and also some season we cannot do this one. It depends of the sugar in the sap.
Oh, okay.
If you have a lot of sugar, we don't boil long. If you don't, if your sap is not very sweet, you have to boil more.
Oh, it just depends.
And when
on the
you
season.
boil more, you do darker syrup.
Okay, yeah, I got you. Yeah.
But usually it's good with the time of the season. At the beginning, we do with doré, golden, after amber, dark, and very dark at the end of the season. You have all the degrees for the maple butter, maple sugar, maple syrup, maple toffee.
Yeah.
In fact, we boil the maple syrup more in those containers over there.
Oh yeah.
We put this, and it's ball, and you have to be in front with the degrees.
Thermometer?
And to see and watch, because if you let cook too much, it will just burn and don't taste good.
Yeah. Yeah.
We put wood here.
Yeah.
And we put the sap inside. And after we just boil it.
Yeah.
And when the maple syrup gets ready, they come in this side of the pan. And now when it's ready, we just have to open it like that. And we put the container and we filter everything. And after we are ready to make something with the maple syrup, even on the table, or to do maple toffee, maple butter, or maple sugar pie. Yeah.
Oh, cool.
Yeah. Usually we put snow inside here. People come, take a stick, and when it's a bit stronger, with the cold of the snow, they just roll it, and it's like a lollipop.
Then it was back to the kitchen for a hands-on class for this one-of-a-kind poutine 𝗔𝗶𝘅 𝗠𝗿𝗄𝗵𝗹𝗅. This diabetes-inducing delight, constructed by our son Hubert, starts by cooking scrambled eggs in amber maple syrup. I mean, this is maple madness at its finest. We are now scrambling friggin' eggs in maple syrup. And not just that. It's all a bit risky too. If young Hubert here lets the syrup get too hot, you'll have a burnt caramel catastrophe. Too cold, and you'll get this sweet, snotty egg mix. But with a little coaching from his mom, they've timed it all just right, and step one of this bizarre food experiment is now complete.
Attends, je vais juste en mettre dans un autre.
Whoa.
You like it?
Yeah, it's good. Yeah, it's really good.
Yeah.
Yeah, like really sweet eggs.
Like you want a picture that...
Merci.
I like it.
Yeah, it's good. It's really good.
I love it.
I've never had maple eggs ever.
No?
No, this is the first
Not
time.
a lot of Sugar Shack make it because it's long. And it costs more.
Yeah, right.
Very good. It's easy to do. Everybody can do it at home with maple syrup.
Wow. You Quebecers are so crazy.
C'est bon, hein?
Maple syrup and
Déjà
everything.
goûté à ça?
No, it looks.
Ouais, va falloir.
It looks
Et là,
terrible.
t'as-tu mis de l'eau dedans?
But it tastes delicious.
OK, on reprend le même sirop.
Merci. Merci beaucoup.
I know full well this poutine is going to kick my ass, and I try to talk Melanie into giving us just one to share.
Yeah. But if we saw the poutine, we'll share one.
You want just one?
Yeah, just one to share. Oh my God, that's so big.
Not sure you've ever tried to argue with a female Quebecois before? Well, I lost.
It's not that big.
Okay.
Two of these insane poutines are coming right up. Next, our maple chef takes enough French fries to feed a small family and covers them in sliced sausage and chunks of thick bacon that have also been cooked in maple syrup. Oh my God! From here, what looks like an entire cup of cheese curds is added, then maple scrambled eggs, and finally, this mountain of maple calories is melted together with gravy. It is not quite 11 a.m., and I too am scrambling.
Good calories though. Good calories. It looks amazing.
Scrambling to figure out how I'm going to eat this sticky and sweet smorgasbord. The combination of this spectacular log cabin we're standing in, surrounded by sugar maples from which the syrup was sourced for this dish, along with the crisp fries, salty sausage, and sweet syrup topped with egg, of all things, is absolutely amazing.
Good.
Okay, thanks a lot. This looks amazing. Wow.
Enjoy.
And so you have this every day for breakfast?
No.
No?
No. But sometime when I want to have more pleasure, I eat this.
This is the day of pleasure.
Yeah.
Missy, thanks a lot for the tour and the experience.
Within 2 bites, I can feel my glucose levels spike to almost euphoric levels.
Oh yeah, it's pretty good.
Yeah.
I think the only thing missing from this dish would be to serve it alongside an insulin pen.
I like it. The gravy, I thought the gravy would be like more strong than the maple, but you can taste the maple on it.
Yeah.
So one thing I missed at the beginning, you said your parents owned a sugar shack?
So when I was very young, when I was 6 years old until 17, my parents rent another sugar shack in this road during 10 years. And I was there every day during the maple syrup season. And I like the people. He do the same thing. He was there when he was like 8 years old. He began at 8. And I just like people come, they are joy and they are happy.
Such a great place.
And they just make fun with the family or friend or it's a good métier.
Right. No, for sure, it's amazing to bring all your friends and have like a little party or a wedding or a corporate event or anything. What a great idea. Oh, thanks a lot. Thanks a lot for having us and let us try the poutine. This is so good.
You. Yeah, it's very good. We'll take a sausage.
If you're looking to experience an entirely different culture within Canada, you don't need to go far. Quebec is a true discovery for anyone looking to explore beautiful landscapes and incredible cuisine. Whether you're looking for Montreal smoked meat seasoned with Montreal steak spice, wanting to stuff yourself with the bounty of bagels, or savor the sweeter side of life with piles of maple poutine, Montreal and Quebec as a whole should be a top stop on your edible adventure list. Next time on the Cooked Motorcycle Adventure, we're headed through beautiful New Brunswick to incredible 𝗵𝗶𝘅 Island to discover the only national park in the world both owned and managed by Canada and the US. Before meeting up with some lifetime locals for a look at an amazing family recipe, the Tinker's Foggy Island Chowder. Hey, you there, my little adventuring friend. If you're enjoying the show, take a minute to hit that thumbs up button, subscribe, and drop a comment below. Your support helps us get this show out to more incredibly awesome people just like you. And thanks for watching.